What's up guys, today I will show you the best CS2 settings for performance in 2025. I will also show you the best settings for the NVIDIA control panel and AMD software. So let's get right into it. So starting off with the actual CS2 settings, we have boost player contrast, and in my opinion this should be turned on because it gives players just a little bit of glow when they are in dark areas. Then we have VSync and NVIDIA G-Sync. Now here I have VSync and NVIDIA G-Sync turned on, so pretty much you want to keep these two settings off if you have more FPS than you have Hertz, but in my case I don't, so I keep them on enabled. Now the NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency, if you have a NVIDIA graphics card you should keep this on enable plus boost, but if you don't, this setting will not probably be here for you. Now onto the maximum FPS in game and maximum FPS in menus, you should just keep this on your monitor's refresh rate to avoid any big problems. Now onto the multi-sampling anti-aliasing mode, you should keep this on CMA2 because it doesn't impact performance at all and it doesn't really make the game look worse. Global shadow quality, personally I keep it on low because in my experience when put on high or very high it impacts performance way too much, even for 10 to 15 FPS, so pretty much just keep it on low and you'll be good. Now dynamic shadows, I would turn this on all because it doesn't impact performance and it lets you see a lot of shadows that you wouldn't otherwise see. Model / texture detail should be kept to medium. Now texture filtering mode depends on what kind of graphics card you have. I personally keep it on 4x, but if you have a better graphics card you can keep it on 8x or maybe in a higher. Shader detail should be placed low because it really does impact performance and it doesn't really impact the gameplay. Particle detail, also same story, doesn't really impact the gameplay but it really can decrease your FPS. Now ambient occlusion should be kept on disabled because it just makes everything blurry. Now high dynamic range should be put on performance, and fidelity FX super resolution should be put on disabled because when you enable it, it just makes everything more blurry and it doesn't really give you that much FPS. So that's it for the actual settings. Now let's move on to the NVIDIA control panel settings. First off, what you need to do is go in the adjust image settings with preview and enable the option use the advanced 3D image settings. Now pretty much what this does is tell the software that it should use the settings that we are going to input later on. Next, go in the manage 3D settings section, starting off with image scaling turned off, ambient occlusion also turned off, anisotropic filtering on 16x, but you can put it on 8x if you have a worse graphics card. Now for anti-aliasing, just place it on off, and application control, because pretty much when you do that it just tells the software, okay dude, just do what you need to do. Now background applications max frame rate, put it on 30 FPS, then CUDA GPUs all and CUDA system fallback policy on driver default, and DSR factors on 1.2x, 1.5x, 2x, 3x, 4x and 1.70x DL. Next we have DSR smoothness, which should be kept on 33%, low latency mode on, max frame rate on off, and now monitor technology, you should basically put this on G-Sync compatible if you don't have enough FPS, but if you do then don't. Then multi-frame sample AA on, OpenGL GDI compatibility on auto, OpenGL rendering GPU on auto select, power management mode on normal, prefer refresh rate on highest available. Now shader cache size on 5 GB, but if you have less storage on your computer then you should place it on 1 GB. Now these two texture filtering options we're gonna skip because you will see why. Now for texture filtering quality, you should put this on performance and it will also control every other texture filtering option. Now threaded optimization on auto, triple buffering on off, vertical sync on off, and then these virtual reality settings you can skip. And last but not least, we have the Vulkan OpenGL preset method, and just put it on auto and you'll be good to go. Now on to the AMD Software app, you will need to go into the graphics section and just follow along. First off, we have super resolution and you want to disable this. AMD fluid motion frames should also be disabled. Anti-lag should be enabled. Radeon boost disabled, as well as Radeon chill and Radeon image sharpening. Then for the Radeon enhanced synced, you should only enable this this. If you have less FPS, then you have hertz. Now we have frame rate target control. This should be disabled. Now anti-aliasing should use application settings, and anti-aliasing methods should be put on multisampling. Now morphological anti-aliasing should be disabled. Now anisotropic filtering should be enabled and set to 8x. Then texture filtering quality should be performance. Surface format optimization should be enabled. Tessellation mode should use application settings, and OpenGL triple buffering and 10-bit pixel format should be disabled. And last but not least, we have the AMD Smart Access memory, and if your GPU supports this, then turn this on. But as always, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more of my content, hit that subscribe button, and if you have any recommendations or video ideas, leave a comment below. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.